All right, guys, welcome back to the 2025 Chicago Auto Show. It's been a busy morning. You know, we've been able to check out some of the press conferences here. Subaru showing off its all-new Forester, the hybrid version, and then their more aggressive version. And we're talking about being able to take them off-road. So when we think about that, you know, we're talking about Subaru and their Forester with the Wilderness package. Then we went over to Jeep to check out the Limited S, which is their all-electric SUV. A little smaller in stature, made a quick stop over at Cadillac, and then BMW. Now we've made it over to the test track, but this one comes with a little bit of a twist. You've all been able to follow Rivian since their introduction a few years ago, and I was just talking with one of their team members here. Sales are doing really well for the brand, and if we think about Rivian as a whole, they've been able to evolve as well. So over my shoulder, just sliding out of the way, you know, we think about the first two vehicles that really hit the market. You know, this is their SUV right here. It's a 3-row SUV, and you look at just the design, this thing really separates itself. This is the R1S. You've also got the R1T, which is the truck-based version. So consumers at the show can come out and they can take one out on the test track, get a chance to experience it. But we've got these cool vehicles over here. I'm just going to have you guys pan to this for a second. This is one of their new vehicles here at the show, and I'm going to meet Ryan up at the front. We're going to talk a little bit about it. So as we make our way to the front, we're taking a look here at this new Rivian, smaller statured SUV, and then we're going to get over here and talk about this in a minute as well. So as we think about the evolution of the brand, this is the new R2, and Ryan Joyce, thank you.
Anytime.
By the way.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. So he is on the interior design side for these vehicles, and first off, I walked up and when I looked at this new vehicle over here, the design is insane on the inside. It's just so beautiful. Why and how are you designing these vehicles on the interior so differently than a lot of other automakers?
I mean, I think it starts with our relationship with the customer, really listening to see what they want. And we have a good time with that feedback. So, I mean, our interiors are very serious, they're very spacious, they're like living spaces, but we have a little punch of fun. So the color schemes on R3X, we call it rugged playful, right? So it's very sophisticated, but then you get these little pops of campfire orange, you get a pop of like teal blue, a little orange. It's just, we want to have fun and kind of give that back to the customer.
I also think what's unique about Rivian as a brand, you know, as a whole, when we think about it, is your dedication to sustainability, right? A lot of automakers talk about it. Well, you actually live it. Vegan leathers on the inside, you know, synthetic leathers on the inside, using recycled products as well. We'll come down here and take kind of a closer look as we make our way down. Using recycled products is important, especially when you're building a vehicle. It also helps kind of start to drive price down a little bit as well. Talk about what you love the most about designing these vehicles on the interior.
I mean, Rivian gives us a pretty open kind of blank piece of paper. I mean, to do anything we want. So we like to balance enough storage, enough nice materials, enough technology, and then bring that together in a cohesive way that is just kind of effortless and calming, right? We're all about being able to go onto your adventures and carry enough gear, get there safely, and then have a good time with the family.
So let's talk about the evolution of the brand, right? So we were just talking about the larger SUV that first came to market, and then you had the truck, and now we're getting a little bit smaller in stature. There's a reason and a strategy for that.
Yeah, I mean, with R2 in particular, we wanted to take everything great about R1, our 3-row flagship, condense it just a little bit, right, so that it could be more accessible to people as a 2-row. I mean, it takes everything great. It still has that kind of formal premium stature on the exterior. The surfacing is just a little bit more serious, a little more agile, a little more sporty. And on the interior, I mean, there really aren't many compromises that we've made. We've taken that kind of premium feel and just kind of toned it to the right level where it's accessible for a larger amount of people.
We think about range in the industry. We're going to start to swivel around and take a look at this last vehicle. We talk about range. You know, most of your vehicles are sitting right around that 300-mile range mark, which is something consumers are looking for. You know, according to J.D. Power, the average daily commute is only 38 miles, and that's round trip to and from their house. You know, I think that's something that consumers, you know, need to become a little bit more educated on. I live in Nashville. It's a little bit harder to charge, you know, when you're out on the road, but consumers want to be able to charge and charge quickly. Let's talk about a little bit about the electric DNA on the vehicles.
Well, I think we are an electric company at the end of the day, and I think that's what really sets us apart in these different spaces. And on the interior design side, we'll use those packaging efficiencies to give the customer back storage space or different features. I mean, the R2 and the R3X, for instance, doesn't have just one glove box, it's 2 glove boxes, and that's because of the unique packaging that the electric motors and the flat battery pack kind of allows us.
All right, guys. Ryan's gonna follow me around. We're gonna take a look at the interior because when I walked up, look how he started smiling. So this is the R3X. Over there is the R2. Then we go R3X. And wait till you guys see the inside. The seats are something on this that really, stopped me right in my tracks. I'm like, man, look at the seats on the inside of this. You went with some beautiful double stitching as well. Different color patterns. I don't think I've ever seen a double stitching, maybe outside of BMW with their M's. That you've gone a double stitch color, red and blue.
Yeah, we have our signature campfire orange, little teal blue. We call this whole interior rugged playful, right? Because yeah, it looks like it can go on an adventure and get a little bit muddy, but it's fun, right? It doesn't take itself too seriously. You could even see that in the graphics in the display. They're hand illustrated versions of the cars instead of doing like a stale photorealistic kind of thing. We want to have a good time and give that back.
And I think you've done a great job kind of explaining who your customer base is. Fun, good time. They want to get there in style, but they also want to have a little bit of a rugged adventure, you know, with their vehicle as well. I know you haven't announced pricing on this, but if you just look at all of your product portfolio and you start kind of at the lower end on pricing and then make your way all the way up, what are consumers looking at?
That's a really good question. I think from the interior design perspective, we just want to make sure that no matter what price segment we're in, we're not just giving a bare minimum kind of experience, right? So even in our entry kind of vehicle, we still want to have lots of hand wrap materials. I mean, even on this vehicle, for instance, I mean, from this point up is wrapped. Like it is soft, it is to the touch, and it's not just because it's a concept, it's because we want our customers to feel like they're getting something more than the bare bones experience.
I always tell people I feel like I have the best job because I get to tell people about cars, but I kind of feel like you might have the best job. You know, I'm staring over my shoulder, I'm looking at this graphics package on the inside of that center console, and you're right, it is soft to the touch. Those are things that, you know, only a really good designer from an interior standpoint would do, Ryan, and I got a feeling you go into work every day absolutely loving your job. Now, one quick note for you guys, Rivian based in Irvine, California, right? This is where you do all your design work, correct?
That's right.
So that brings kind of a little bit of California lifestyle in there, but Rivian is now turning into not just a North American brand, it's starting to get this global appeal, right?
Oh, I mean, and these two vehicles in particular, we're looking at world market for. So, I mean, even on the exterior, I mean, R1 has a hood cut line that's on here. But because we want these to be international, we're moving it to the side so that it's got better Ped Pro, head impact, better safety features, and then making that a part of the feature of the vehicle. You can see this cut line creates a bone line that goes down the entire stripe of the vehicle. So yeah, absolutely, we aspire to be international, and people are digging the cars, so we want to get them up there.
Not only that, but you're letting people test drive them here at the Chicago Auto Show as well. Ryan Joyce, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, guys, you know what? A lot of things happening here at the 2025 Chicago Auto Show. We're checking out some of the hottest vehicles here. This is Rivian, and I'll tell you guys right now, it's an exciting time to be in the auto industry, and when you're an exclusive automaker dedicated to electric vehicles, it's not just about the technology, it's about creating vehicles that are fast, they're fun, and they're cool. We're going to be making our way around the auto show a little bit more. We got some more vehicles to bring to you guys. Stay tuned because we're going to be back with you in just a little bit.